Welcome back everyone for more Pokemon news of the week. Today's headlines. Japan announces a lot of Halloween events and goodies. There's also a lot of new card announcements. And Hatsune Miku and Pokemon combine? All that and more in Pokemon news of the week. Welcome back everyone for more Pokemon news of the week. My name is Bob and here are today's headlines, and there's a considerable amount of things to talk about this week because we didn't do a news update last week. First off, we're going to start off by talking about the Pokemon Halloween events that are happening in Japan. You may remember from a previous news video that I talked about the DJ Gengar and DJ Pikachu event that's going to be held at USJ some point this year. Well, that has already begun. This has now started from the beginning of September, and basically there's a lot of interesting events happening at Universal Studios Japan. There's a few things related to Pokemon, there's a few things related to a few other brands, but basically there's going to be a live event pretty much every single night with DJ Pikachu and DJ Gengar happening. But on top of this, there are also lots of amazing, delicious looking treats. For example, and I have to check my notes because I did make a note of it down here, there is a Gengar curry rice set, so this looks pretty cool and pretty spooky. There's also a Pikachu stew, and that is hard to say. Try saying that 3 times. Pikachu stew, Pikachu stew, Pikachu stew. Yeah, it's pretty hard. There's also a Mimikyu crepe. This looks adorable, but I guarantee this is probably pretty expensive. There's also a bayonet cake, and this looks pretty cool, dark and spooky. There's also a mischievous drink. I just want this for the cup. If I can have that cup, that would be absolutely amazing. And there is also a DJ Pikachu and DJ Gengar set, which has a few little goodies inside of it, so you can see that here. Now, the price of these probably vary based on which item you order, but I'm going to assume they're quite expensive because most things in Universal Studios are pretty pricey. But there are also some limited time goodies on top of these, as well as an extra kind of biscuit set, so you can get this as a souvenir thing. So this is the first Halloween announcement. On top of this, the Pokemon Center also announced lots of Spooky Paldea themed kind of items. For example, there is a lot of teddies, so there's a lot of cool stuff here. For example, like this nice Pikachu and so on. I don't know if you could see it, but I have a Miss Magius Pikachu from about 5 or 6 years ago here in the background. And those things are super cool because they're so limited and they just look fantastic. In addition to this, there's also a cup that changes color when you put hot water in it. There's also a picture frame, so this looks kind of cool as well. There's a couple of keychains, there's some storage boxes, there's also a couple of coasters. So basically, there's a lot of stuff happening and a lot of goodies. These items you can get on the Pokemon Center from September 2nd, so that is from 2 days ago, so you can now buy these online. A lot of them may have sold out, I haven't actually checked, but if you're here in Japan, you can also go to the Japanese Pokemon centers in Osaka, Tokyo, and so on, and get your hands on some amazing looking goods. But moving on to today's big headline, there is a Hatsune Miku and Pikachu kind of combination crossover event, and this is amazing. This is basically the entire combination of my YouTube channel. For those of you that don't know, I actually started out this YouTube channel opening up anime figures, and I'd say about 30% of the figures were Hatsune Miku themed. But now I do a lot more Pokemon themed stuff like Pokemon cards and Pokemon goodies and so on, like this Pokemon news that I'm doing right now. And basically what's going to happen from September 4th, so that's on Monday, there is going to be one brand new illustration that is done by a famous Hatsune Miku artist. For example, Kay, you may remember Kay from quite a few of the figures we've opened up, who's going to draw a combo thing with, say, with Miku and random Pokemon. And I believe, I can't recall off the top of my head, but there's going to be 18 different images from 18 different artists, possibly starring 18 different Pokemon. The cooler thing is that after this, from the 29th of September, they are going to start releasing lots of music with Pokemon and Miku together. And I absolutely love Pokemon music. I absolutely love Miku music. To have these two things combined together is just the penultimate thing for, I think, this entire channel. And I say penultimate, like, I'm not stopping. Oh god, I'm going forever. But just what an amazing thing. This is so cool. But basically, you're going to have to wait just a little bit to get some cool stuff, and probably next week in our news, we're going to have a few of the pictures shown up here. But basically, this is going to be happening very soon, so stay tuned. And something that's kind of exclusive to Japan right now, but maybe coming out in the West kind of soon, are some Nendo Pokemon Mosaic goods. And for those of you that don't know, Nendo is the company that's making the Pokemon Classic set. So this is the set that's coming out later this year, actually very, very soon. And for the second release in Japan, it's going to be coming out in March. For the West, I still don't know what's happening. But basically, they have quite a few partnerships with Pokemon, and they've got these Mosaic-themed items. In total, there's 75 items that you can get, and these range from clocks, bags, tableware, all kinds of stuff. And these actually look really cool. They look super modern and super interesting. They go on sale at Pokemon Centers from September 1st, but please note, these are not available in all Pokemon Centers. I believe there's about 4 or 5, two of them that I do remember are the Pokemon DX in Tokyo and also the Pokemon Center in Osaka, so the one in Umeda. Those two places may still have some goods, they may have sold out because it was a couple of days ago. But also something that's interesting is in Asakusa, there's going to be a event that's happening from September 1st to September 3rd. So again, if you're watching it today, you won't be able to go. But this has some cool stuff, so I'll put a couple of pictures up here because they look very, very thematic and very, very interesting. But yeah, there's lots of Mosaic goods. This is a really cool thing, so if you're interested, keep an eye out. And finally, onto Pokemon card news. There is the release of the Raging Surf set that's coming out on September 22nd. And basically, I've mentioned it already, we were very lucky, we've already got one box on pre-order. So I'm excited that I can open this up, possibly on release date, possibly the next day. It depends entirely on my business work schedule. But a few card announcements were made for this set. For example, there was an amazing Mantike art rare card. I posted this on my YouTube basically about 3 minutes after the announcement, and it looks so cool. I mean, it's just such a cute card down in the submarine with this beautiful Mantike in the background, so this is very, very pretty. There's also a wonderful Yveltal art rare, and I haven't seen a nice Yveltal card for a little while, so this looks very, very cool too. Very, very strong and powerful art. There were also 2 other art rares that were announced that I didn't talk about or post on my channel. There is a Minim and a Plusle, and these 2 together, I'll try and stitch them together somewhere here. They make a scene, and basically it looks like 2 brothers or 2 friends are playing games. One of them has won and one of them has lost, and this is kind of cool. I love it when the Pokemon card game, they make these kind of thematic things. For example, with the Gardevoir line for Routes, Curlier and Gardevoir that came out a while back. I think this is super cool, and I desperately want to get these 2 cards. They look so cute. But there was also an announcement of one super art rare card, and it was the Garchomp card. So this is a water type terrestrialized Garchomp, and you can see it's got like these kind of waves around the outside of it. It looks interesting, but I feel it is a little bit simplistic. If it's an art rare, I would expect a little bit more detail. It feels a little bit like the Ice Q art rare that came out in the previous Pokemon set, because there wasn't so much going on with that card. So this card, it looks nice, but I am hoping that there are going to be a lot nicer super art rare cards in this set. But in addition, there were a few other announcements. For example, there was a Shikimi card, so that is the Chantel card. So possibly there is going to be a super rare of her in the next set. Possibly? I think it is possible. There's also a Golden Go card. So this is the first time Golden Go actually has a Pokemon card in a full set release. So this is pretty cool. There's probably going to be Gimmiggles as well with this too. And there's also a Hooper card. And again, I haven't seen Hooper for a little while either. So these are pretty cool EX cards in this set. But on the topic of the Gimmighoul and the Golden Go, there is also a chance for you to get a promo card if you are in any events in Japan right now for the local Championship Series 2024. And I believe you can get I think it's a Gimmighoul card, which just says like Pokemon Championship 2024. And also some energy cards that come with it. I don't know if it's a random assortment or it's one of them. But basically, if you're in a tournament in Japan, there is a possibility for you to get hold of some of these. But yeah, lots of cool card announcements, and probably in the coming weeks, there's going to be even more cool card announcements very soon. And finally, let's talk about my card of the week. My card of the week this week is the base set Ninetales. This came out in the original base set of Pokemon cards, and I love this card for so many reasons. I've talked about it multiple times on the channel, but in my first ever packet of cards that my mum bought me, I pulled this Ninetales. and I guarantee that when I go back to England, I am going to find a destroyed, beat up Ninetales, because I was a kid, I played Pokemon, and it's probably really, really damaged. But this card has such a nostalgic feeling to it. It is beautiful, and it is easily not just my card of the week, but one of my best cards ever. So this is my card for this week. But that's basically it for Pokemon announcements this week, and there was a lot of cool stuff, a lot of artsy stuff, a lot of Halloween-y stuff, and also card announcements, which are also very nice. Please also remember that the Teal Mask is coming out this month for Scarlet and Violet, so I'm going to be probably playing that quite a bit, and hopefully I can put at least another 20 or 30 hours into that. But guys, if you liked today's video, please do give us a like, please subscribe, and I will see you next time for more Pokemon news of the week.